has a liquid death. What is that? Lime.
Yeah, it's the little severed lime one.
And
it's gonna be crazy loud.
Okay, just do that first. And that's good. I have a taro bubble tea with actual boba in it.
1,000,000 calories.
Is it 274?
No, I mean sugar and carbs. I was gonna get it, but I didn't.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it. We'll see. Alright. I'm kind of nervous, but let's pour it in.
If you like sparkling water, the severed lime, like it does. Jeez, to the brim.
Alright, well,
I'm scared.
try it first.
This looks like coffee.
I didn't even get into the topic, but is it good?
It's sweet. There's no boba though.
Really? But I heard them plopping in there.
There's no boba.
Oh, I don't know how much I like it. But I'll drink it for this episode. Alright. Today, we are going to be talking about raising your standards, asking for more out of life. And recently I had this, not a realization because I already knew, but I want to start it off with saying that every desire within us is planted for a reason, which I was telling you recently. Every desire, you know, we all have different desires, but we had the idea for a bigger reason. And yes, and you are meant to have it in your life if you desire it. Because what you want is meant to be yours. Okay? So
Yes, ma'am.
we're starting it off with that. It's also Leo season, and I want to ignite some fire in people.
Yeah.
That's why I want to do this. So,
That's a good one. Also, I have no clue what the topics are, so
yeah,
I just learned with you.
I'm just throwing this on him. And another thing I want to start off with is an idea that I also had is that a lot of us don't act out of thriving. We act out of surviving.
Yeah.
So we don't ask a lot out of life because we're just surviving.
Yeah.
We don't expect,
Me.
yeah, and we don't like expect great things. We just expect the same old.
Expect to get by.
Yeah,
Hope to get by for some people.
yeah, literally. And
Which is definitely a stage you can be in, like I was in that stage.
yeah, and like a survival,
Yeah.
fight or
The
flight.
first steps of the journey.
Yeah. So, I know that. I know Jordan, of course. And if you want to go look at our other podcast together where I interview him.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Yeah, where I interview him too.
Yeah.
That was like
This
our
is more just
first.
gonna be fun dialogue.
Yeah. But I actually do have some, just like a couple
Interview
questions. But just to get like, I don't know. So, Jordan spent $1,000 on a course when you didn't have too much money, right?
Yeah, I had $1,200.
Yeah.
I was in college and I was doing door-to-door sales for a solar company, and it was winter. I was like, I'm not knocking doors in winter in
Yeah.
a winter jacket. So I was also in college, and I kind of just cut ties with college and with work with $1,200 and just
Dropped out of college and everything.
living here at my mom's house. I'm still at my mom's house.
Yeah.
No car payment, nothing.
Yeah, that's crazy. And invested in the course, which to me is like the definition of, okay, I'm gonna raise my standards and invest in myself.
And
And
that was my first step, 100%.
yeah, so what made you do that? Like, because it sounds like a little survival into thriving, survive,
Yeah, it was a
thrive.
transition step for sure.
Yeah,
I think I was waiting. What are you talking?
it's okay.
That dog voice is good.
You can do soft spoken if you want.
But I think I had to. I knew that I needed to make that step far before I ever made it, and it was kind of like the pain of staying the same finally outweighed the pain of just doing it. So
Yeah.
I just didn't care anymore. I was just
That's a
ready to
good,
go.
yeah, that's a good.
And that's a Tony Robbins
Oh, and
line.
when the pain
Pain of
outweighs the,
staying the same outweighs the pain is basically a crash course on how to just get more out of life.
That's cool. You're reading it right now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's a perfect book. I should have read it so long ago. But honestly, like, if you think you can't do it, like, that's such a dumb thought in my eyes. Like, if you open your eyes for 2 seconds in this reality, you can see a million people that are somewhere farther down than you, that have gotten farther than you're even trying to go.
True.
Like there's plenty of people that have gone from homeless to being billionaires.
Yeah.
There's a good amount of them, and a lot of them are foreigners, like people that immigrated into the States. They came here with nothing.
Yeah.
Billionaires.
Yeah.
Like, whatever excuse you're saying, like, it's almost laughable, I can guarantee it.
Yeah.
Because someone 50 times worse made it out.
That's true. That's
Like,
very true.
excuses hold no weight in my eyes.
Also because you see people with, like, let's say, like, disabilities and stuff, and what do they do with that? They take that and they use it as their gift to inspire people.
And that's the whole thing about life, is everyone is set up differently. Everyone is set up with different outcomes, different starting positions, and a lot of your biggest trials become your biggest assets once you just change yourself. So if you actually change yourself, you'll come to realize, okay, maybe that thing that I was desiring wasn't meant for me. Maybe I need to skew it into this way that more fits with my reality of what I have, and then you'll find yourself in a whole new position, way better off than you thought you would have been.
Yeah.
Because usually our first dreams and desires are, like, kind of set into us with society.
Yeah. True.
Oh, I want to be rich. I want to travel the world. Like,
The
it's
base,
very
the
basic.
general.
It's
Yeah.
very basic.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just abundance at the end of the day. Like, I want those things.
Yeah.
There's nobody who doesn't. But usually when you take a more genuine road, you'll find yourself more aligned with something else.
That's cool. That also reminds me, like, thought that just, it's not about raising standards, but we all want these things, but it's not the thing that we want, it's the feeling that comes with it. Like, why do you want to travel the world? Because you want to have the feeling of,
Meeting new people, seeing new
Yeah.
cultures.
So we're not chasing, like, actual material things like wealth, but why do you want that wealth? So that I can help my family, so
Wealth is
that,
a tool. It's just a key that opens more doors, that's it.
yeah. And I think a big thing about raising your standards, I think a big thing about raising,
I'm gonna be burping from this for sure. We'll keep them in.
I think a big thing about raising your standards is getting behind your whys
Yeah.
and letting your whys
It's
motivate
gotta come
you.
from a genuine place.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't, I feel like reality will check you on it.
Yeah.
And that kind of natural process of curving into something else will just
Yeah.
happen.
That's also interesting. You said the first dreams are really not the ones that.
Yeah, because what I thought I would be doing is
What did you
just,
think?
I mean, when I was young, I was like, I want to be an astronaut.
Oh,
I want to be a lawyer. And it's like, you just naturally are going to go through so many turns. And I tried so many businesses. I tried so many things. And I failed everything.
Yeah.
But I didn't care. It wasn't about succeeding at the first tries. I was like, something's going to stick because there's
That's
other
cool.
kids.
That's cool.
Because at time on YouTube, like, I was young when I was first starting, like 17.
Oh, yeah.
And there were kids that were younger than me making YouTube videos, like Hayden Bowles, which is now a friend of mine. Like,
That's crazy.
I watched his videos. He's like 3 or 4 years younger than me. And I'm like,
Crazy.
this kid's doing it. Like,
Yeah. Is he the one that got you to make YouTube videos?
no, or in my early days, yeah.
Oh, really?
In my early days, because I had a little dropshipping YouTube channel.
That's
And
crazy.
I'm pretty sure I deleted all the videos, but I had like a 300 subscribers.
I wish I saw.
I made a video every day for like 3 months.
That is insane.
Every single day I had 300
Insane.
subscribers.
You should have had more.
It was bad. They were one takes. I wouldn't let myself because I didn't want to edit. So
Yeah.
I'd film each video like 18 times.
Yeah.
And I would just do a one take and just upload that.
I'm just thinking about that. That's insane. Because,
I've done a lot of things that have just not worked out.
yeah, but it's crazy because a lot about raising your standards, a lot of people. So, the topic of this was also asking for more out of life because it's, for a while there, I was thinking, oh, I'm not even, talking to the creator universe source. Like, I'm not even asking for anything. So, what am I expecting
It's like
to get?
aimlessly working.
Yeah, and
Making it work.
I think a lot of the times we forget to ask,
Yeah.
and therefore we don't really get any. There was something I was you do creating a beautiful life. And I just think a lot of people have that trouble of taking risks and asking for more and raising their standard.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's something that I struggled with.
No, and you'll continue to struggle at every level.
Yeah.
You'll break through, you'll have some amazing breakthrough, and then you'll find another ceiling.
Yeah.
And then you have to change again to break through again, and it's a constant cycle of reinventing yourself, I feel like.
Yeah. What do you think motivates you? Because I know people are motivated by different things. For a while, real quick, I'll just say that I was motivated because I wasn't popular in high school. So I wanted to make something big out of myself.
Show everyone.
Yeah, so I would feel worthy.
Yeah.
And it's a great motivator, you know, out of pain, but also like pleasure.
Best.
Yeah. So what have been your motivators?
So the biggest motivator for me is basically like when I come to the time of death, of dying, of being done with this human experience, I want to easily be able to just like laugh and know that I did everything I wanted.
Yeah.
Have good energy and not regret anything and be ready for the next stage, the next step.
Yeah.
So that's like the ultimate big picture, but I think if you go more specific on it, my parents, like I grew up in a very average lifestyle, very just like average to a T average.
Yeah.
And my mom got into real estate and got to the point of making some crazy money, and I saw going from average to going to very wealthy for a second.
True.
And then I also saw that disappear.
Yeah.
And I saw how fast things can happen in good and bad, and
Yeah.
it just kind of showed me that you can just have this insane lifestyle change, and so much can happen. And
Yeah.
seeing these young people succeed online, I was like, they're not smarter than me. Like I've always had a very high, like I am pretty insecure on the outside, but on the inside I have a very deep feeling of kind of that like I'm better than people, which is so
But that's
weird
good.
to say because I know I'm not, but
Yeah. I think I
feel
know what your
special.
perspective.
I feel special.
Yeah.
I feel different, and so if I see someone else do it, I'll just go, oh, I'll just do it too. Like,
Yeah, which is great. A great thing to have.
I can easily see someone doing something and mimic what they're doing, and I have no issues with like asking for help or guidance, or
You
like
don't.
ego and pride never gets in the way of if someone's ahead of me, I will go to them and do whatever's necessary
Yeah.
to learn from them.
It's kind of cool.
I like that dynamic. I like being the dumbest in the room.
Yeah.
Like I would prefer that always.
It's cool that in your deep sense you think, oh, like not like ego, I'm better than everyone, but like a confident level to get you to do and try new things. Because if you didn't have that, you would see someone be like, I could never.
It's really loud.
I know. You'd think that and think, I could never do that if you didn't have that. But simultaneously, you have that while also being able to go to someone that's ahead of you and be like, can I learn from you? That's cool that you have that duality.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Like, no one got to the place they're at alone. Like,
That's true.
like everyone thinks you have to reinvent the wheel. Like, there's already structures and pathways to success.
Yeah.
It's not that you're alone in the jungle, like cutting weeds down and finding this path. Like, you just go to someone who's where you want to be and say, hey, how could I go where you're at?
Yeah. Or just observe
And
them.
most people that are in power positions that have done that,
Yeah.
would make their day to show their power.
Yeah. That's their passion.
Show you up, I'm the guy, like this is the path I took.
Yeah.
Like if someone came to me genuinely and said, hey, I really love where you're at, I want to be there.
Yeah.
And I mean, it'd have to be like in person or something.
Yeah.
Like you can just easily transfer knowledge, but if someone came to me like dying, hungry, willing to work, and I know that anything I tell them they will execute on it times 5,
Yeah.
then I will gladly give all my information for free.
That's cool.
Because it boosts you up, you know it boosts them up, it's
Yeah.
a win-win.
Yeah.
It's
And-
an overall
And
great thing.
yeah, and that kind of reminds me of like raising your standard for yourself. And people will see that, and when you raise your standard, you act out and execute on the things that someone would tell you to do. And you learn, and you're more open if you raise your standard to getting more out of life. And something that you reminded me, like, you saw wealth and you saw it go. But the thing is how fast it came a lot of the times I was just listening to a Leor video with Jordan. The first thing she said is embrace the mystery, like embrace the unknown, because we think that our past equals our future when we actually never know what could happen. If you saw that pop off, if you see someone, accomplish something, why can't you? Like, it is possible. Miracles do happen. Crazy things happen.
Yeah, every moment is a neutral moment.
Is a new what?
Neutral.
Oh, yeah.
It's not positive or negative. Like, I truly believe everything in life is neutral.
That's a
Just
great
because
thing.
you're a billionaire doesn't mean you can't literally go bankrupt.
True. That's true.
Genuinely, there's plenty of billion-dollar companies that have tanked.
That's crazy.
Like, you're never to the point of no return. If you're at the bottom, you're never to the point where you can never get better.
Yeah.
That's not true. And if you're at the top, there's not a point where you can get where, like, I'm bulletproof, I'm invincible.
Yeah.
Every moment is neutral. It doesn't matter
That's
who
true.
you think you are,
And
what you tell yourself your past is, or what you confide yourself to with your future. Like, nature and reality don't care.
Yeah, literally. And that just shows how much power we also have, how much in control we are. Because if everything is neutral, we're the ones that give meaning to it.
Life filters through the mind.
Yeah, so.
Like, there is existential things you'll never be able to control.
Yeah.
And that's where you be humble. But all of it does filter through your senses.
And through our perception. Yeah.
You create the reality. You create the opportunities. You create the circumstances. Every emotion is created inwards, not.
For example, this right here, neutral. It is a drink. It is a flavor that has nothing to it. But me and Jordan, we both drink it. We experience different things, different perceptions on it. So everything is so neutral, and like, it just shows like what meaning are you tying to things? Like, what standard are you having?
That's kind of why I don't feel bad for people.
Yeah.
Which is, like, it's my toxic trait. Like, I do have the biggest, most
At least you can admit it.
deep down side that feels for people on a level that's unreal. But I'm very quick to be like, well, that's your problem. Like, you're an adult. Like,
Yeah. In different situations.
and it
like,
most depends on how the person's attitude is and stuff. But like, deep down, I've seen how trying to help people doesn't work.
It doesn't.
And so I'm just like,
It really doesn't.
whatever.
And that's what also Tony Robbins says, is like, you can't help someone in a certain state. If I'm in a bad mood, you can't help me until I get out of it, until I make the choice to change my energy. Any of your help.
Because we are so responsible for reality.
Yeah.
Because it is all in our hands.
Yep.
I can't interfere with yours.
Yeah.
It's your own intimate connection with
That's true.
life.
I think it's important to hold space for people to evolve
That's huge.
and like
That
still
space is very big.
and like having love for them, but not like a pity of giving them advice to get out of some situation, because they'll do, at the end of the day, they'll do what they want to do. And we can't do that, which we shouldn't have to take on the emotional burden of feeling so bad, when at the end of the day, the only way we can change and help is just holding space for people, which that's a totally different, not raising standard perspective. So what I want to ask this question: in what ways have you invested in yourself and rose your standard? Like, what have you done, little things that you feel like, okay, I'm raising my standard, I'm going at it? Books.
That's it. Like, books will do it for you.
Raise your standard.
I would take a bath and read a book every night
That's funny.
for years.
Really?
Like, I've probably gone through like
You have read a lot of
nearly
books.
100 books since high school.
Wow, that's
Which
crazy.
isn't like crazy, because
No, that's crazy to me.
it's not too crazy. There's people that read like
But to the average
a
person,
book a
I don't
week,
know.
52 books a year. Like, it's like a 6-year time period, 100 books. Like, it's not that crazy. Like, I haven't read that much, but those books created
follows me for years.
It's really easy to just be like, I need to know more before I get started. I have to have a perfect plan.
Oh my gosh, yes. That was literally me. I was always planning everything, even in the beginning of a relationship.
That on the other podcast.
Really? I don't remember.
No, on the podcast I was on.
Oh, really?
Years, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, we talked about like the main thing that I really like live by is a lot of people think if they want to start a business, if they want to do something, it's like launching a rocket. And rocket science is precise. Like if you have the smallest thing wrong, it blows up. People are dying. Mission failed. Like you have to be perfect at every step. But that's not what business is like. Business is more like driving a car. You just get inside.
Yeah.
You start driving, you figure out the gas, you figure out how to turn it, you figure out the brakes. Then you start randomly going on roads.
I love
and then,
that.
Oh, you read a book. You find a mentor. Now you have GPS in your car. And oh, you
That's
made a
cool.
wrong turn.
That's cool.
You just do a U-turn. Get back on track.
Yeah.
There's always a way. You
There's
just have
always
to
an
go.
exit to get
There's
back.
always an exit. There's
Yeah.
always a new entrance to the freeway. And
There-
life puts up barriers of speed limits and there's a car crash or your car broke down, you gotta get a new one. Like
Yeah.
there's always that, but it's not building a spaceship where it's success or not.
Yeah.
Because if I'm
You're
trying to launch
right.
a rocket to the moon,
Yeah.
it is you either fail or you don't.
Yeah. And that's not
Business
life.
is not like that.
That is so
Life is
cool.
not like that at all.
And then you look back and you realize how far you've come.
Yeah. And usually the destination you first put in the GPS
It's
is
not.
not where you're going,
Yeah.
and that's what I was saying with that whole.
Yeah. You make a bunch of pit stops, which is like
Yeah.
milestones in your life. That's really cool. I think you've told me that before, but I think it just,
Yeah, I told you that when we were in Pittsburgh, downtown.
yeah. But it like just hit me a little more.
Yeah, that's a lot of thing with books. Like I'll have to read books multiple times.
Yeah.
There's probably, I bet if I reread every book that I've read, it'd be like reading a new book.
Yeah, I
'Cause
want to
I've
start rereading
changed.
books.
So when I read, I'm gonna absorb differently.
Yeah, and you're at a different point of your life
And new perspectives.
where it
all that.
helps in that area more. That's really cool. Because we also don't realize how far we've come.
Yeah.
Like every day feels like I am doing nothing. Like I'm
The
doing
wall's
nothing.
just right there stopping you.
Yeah. And it just feels like, oh, I'm not growing. I'm not just all of this. I'm just staying stagnant. But looking back, how far we have come, and it flies by, you know, that's,
You know, it's crazy thinking about where I was in high school and stuff.
yeah,
Like even my friends know that. Like anyone will be like,
yeah.
it's like a night and day difference.
I wish I knew you in high school. That's crazy.
It would have been weird.
And that would have been,
It's weird.
I was something. I was kind of weird. I was kind of quiet. But, yeah, that's really cool. And I feel like raising your standard also is about being present. Because if you want to raise your standard, and what I mean by raising your standard is like, for example, you said in order to succeed at, let's say, 100,000 subscribers, you need to be at the 1 million 10 times more. So raising your standard, it means many different things, as in be at the 1 million mindset in order to get this.
Your mental reality has to be 10 times higher than what your physical reality will manifest. Like if I'm thinking at $1 million level, I might have 100,000 in my bank account.
Yeah,
If I'm thinking at a $10 million level, that's the time that I'll reach the million in the bank account.
yeah,
There's a lag between the mind and
Time.
reality.
that's cool.
And it's usually a 10x
That's
difference
crazy.
on it. Like how hard do you think it will be to start a business? It's usually going to be 10 times harder.
Jeez.
It's the reality of everything. Like everyone
Yeah.
thinks these things are easy because it's portrayed easy on social media, but
Yeah,
you're going to have to sacrifice everything. Like the kid in high school that was some loser had to sacrifice time out with friends, had to sacrifice parties. Like if you go talk to any of my friends, there was years they didn't see me.
really.
I was gone.
Yeah.
A lot of it was from like a past relationship, but even when that relationship was gone, I was still the kid
And you're-
taking a bath, reading a book every night,
Yeah,
and just being extremely dedicated. Like I could have failed a million times, I would have never stopped.
yeah, that's really cool. That's what it
a lot.
takes. Yeah,
Like this stuff is like my life. Like I never am not thinking about the next step, the next evolution.
if you're into astrology, you are a fire sign.
Yeah.
And
Honestly, I resonate hard
Yeah.
with all of my.
And you're a manifester, so always wanting. But let's say you are not a fire sign, you naturally need more motivation. I think yeah, and I feel like I need a little more of a push. So an advice for that push is to really charge up, amplify your pain, amplify it. Like sometimes you really need to feel angry at your life. Sometimes you do need to feel very victim and just hating it. Yeah, or like, you know, look at Pinterest, like look at all the people that have the life that you desire.
That is a thing. Like I knew the people I liked.
Yeah,
I knew the people like I want to be like them.
that's cool.
Like you have to have something to aim for. Like,
Yeah, a pleasure. So a pain and a pleasure, and it's not saying that that pain makes you not grateful for where you are, because you always have to come back to that. But sometimes, if you're more lazy, don't want to do it, don't want to ask for more out of life, which I'm learning to double what I want from life.
yeah.
If I have a goal, I need to double it.
Like we were talking about yesterday, like Jeff Bezos makes $5 million a day, and it's like
What?
he created an infrastructure through years of work and
Yeah.
had the most insane opportunities land on in front of him because of his work ethic. But
Yeah.
it shows that there's no limit. Like no one would sit down and go, "Oh, I want to make $5 million a day."
Yeah.
You couldn't even fathom that. But that
I
is a
don't
guy's
even want that.
reality. Like
Yeah. And that's
just literal reality. Like that's not even a thought. Like
Yeah.
he gets that.
And that just also shows, personally, I wouldn't want $5 million in a day, and because I wouldn't know what to do with it. I don't have the
It
vessel.
wouldn't matter at that point.
Yeah, but I don't have the vessel for it, nor do I really want it. I don't have
And the
that.
stresses that come with it, you'd never.
I don't have that desire, and therefore it's not meant to be mine. But I do know what I desire, and therefore that is what is meant to be mine. You know your desires. Well, do you?
Nature works with you.
Yeah, so what's meant to be yours is supposed to be yours. So having that drilled into your mind and knowing that so deeply and believing that, that belief will set you up to quit that job or do something you don't want to be doing anymore, to step up your game out of life and to ask for more and to do more.
I think the book Think and Grow Rich really ties with that. But when you're really trying to like manifest something, you have to be specific to the date of time that you want it. You have
Yeah.
to be on point of telling the universe or God or whatever you believe in. It literally doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you tell that outside force, I want this on this date, and you think about that
remember you being discouraged because his store wasn't doing good. And do you remember, like, you thought of a new store idea and you created that new store, and that did very, very good. That's what brought you to that goal. So when
that store that I created was
and because so he was like discouraged, and then thought of a store idea, created it, took off.
In like record time.
Yeah, like it was crazy.
To this day, it was still the best store I've ever created. It sold over 2 million in sales in a year.
Jeez.
It was crazy.
That just shows that when you raise your standard, you have a specific goal, you charge that with energy, raise your standard, and you will get it. You will have ideas, you will have breakthroughs, you will have luck, miracles, that things will come to you.
It's important to just take action on it and not really think about it. Just trust and move forward, because if all you have to do is be focused on the goal and just work your ass off.
Yep.
Honestly.
You can't really lose at anything if you take action.
Yeah.
Because there's just a new pathway to
If
growth.
you have blind faith, I promise it'll happen.
Yeah.
And that's why I was saying Think and Grow Rich is really good, because it talks a lot about faith. Faith is not a religious word. Like, if you look into the deep meanings of faith and really cultivate that and bring it into your life, like, the changes that happen are unbelievable.
I love that. I think that's a great way to end it right there on faith. I hope you enjoyed every single word that you said. It was great.
As well.
Thanks. And I hope you got something out of this, and I hope you raise your standard. Comment down below ways that you will be raising your standard. And I actually just remembered that I want to say that the definition of manifesting is not creating, it's aligning with.
Yeah.
So when you're manifesting, you're aligning with something that already exists. Therefore, your desires, you're just aligning with them.
Yeah, the inner world has to elevate to
Match that.
the thing that exists.
Yep. So we're going to be raising our standard. We'll do it all together. Get more out of life. We have 6 months left of this year.